Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the Crypto Lab with Alex, featured by Trading Analysis. A little bit of a small, lots of screens today stuff because it seems my other screen is dead. So I will have to manage a couple of screens here, so I hope you will not mind that. I will have to buy a new one. Obviously, it's already finished its term, it seems. I hope you are all good and well. We're going to do a standard macro outlook, and then we're going to switch of what is going on cryptos. So as usual, you can put your requests, opinions, and whatever you like in the chat box. Just don't ask some people to invest money in cryptos on other channels, as we had in the last couple of sessions. It seems that these guys got a message, because after that there were no additional messages in that regards, but let's see if they will come up with something else. They are pretty inventive nowadays. So let me see, is the screen or visibility is okay? So just type me in if everything is okay regarding sounds and regarding the screen. I hope you see my screen probably nicely. I'm going to just glare it a little bit so you can see it. So just give me a small note that visual and sound is okay, so I can continue. Yeah, no answer. Okay, so we're going to continue. I hope everything is fine. Okay, so let's start as usual. We're going to look what's going on a 10-year yield, and 10-year yields is poking our one of the resistance levels we have been mentioning earlier. If we hold this 1.1, 1.2 levels, we are developing currently a very nice 5-wave pattern on the upside. We might see a small pullback, and then we might see a test of this 2% on US 10-year yields. There you have an equality. Usually we look for a measured move or ABC on the upside with the equal levels, where we especially pay attention what is going on, because if this turns out to be 5 waves up in A, down in B, and up in C, that will be all what we are going to see up in rising yields. But if we start to move a little bit more higher above this 2%, I think that in that case we will have to become a little bit more bullish on yields in 2022. So all depends what we are going to see between these two levels, and especially what we are going to see around 2%. So on 10-year yields, watch 2%. Small pullback and a continuation will mean that we might even challenge the upper range of the next resistance levels, which is around between 3 and 3.4, which will be a pretty significant change, I think, from all of the outlooks as regards how the Fed is looking inflation, and especially what is going to happen in the stock market. So I think that these two levels should be watched very carefully, especially 2%. So watch that levels and what is going on there. On the European front, in the 10-year bond price, so we are looking price here, not the yields, but they're inverted. So basically it's the same thing. In that respect, we are possibly negating my triangle. I was looking for a small consolidation for a couple of year or two here. As I proposed a couple of weeks ago, when I saw a danger of this potential happening, maybe we are in some type of a WXY, which is going to be a little bit more directional correction, with the yields going a little bit more higher in Europe. And then as long as this support zone holds, my wave count indicates that this was a wave 3. We are in some type of a wave 4 corrective pullback, which will take some time to unfold. And then we might continue further on the upside in more deflationary manner when and if economy balance itself. As you can see, COVID is increasing its grip again around the world. We are seeing COVID passes and all of that stuff happening. Not enough of the majority of, I would say, inhabitants or people around the world are still not, I think, vaccinated to have this overall immunity. So this might be maybe a representation of increasing inflationary level that market is already starting to price in. So we might see rates go higher and challenge this support zone in the next year or even a year and a half. So it means 2022 and first half of 2023. So we will see. On the dollar front, dollar index is keeping nicely these resistance levels. I'm still going to look for a bullish outlook on dollar. I don't think this C wave sequence on the upside is finished. Just to give you the whole picture, we are looking this from the COVID crisis start in the 2020 March as a 5-wave move down with a small truncation. Then afterwards, we are seeing a 5-wave move on the upside with a pullback in a B wave. And we are looking now in some type of a continuation of the 5-wave move up in the C wave towards this 96.25 or even 99.13. Although 1618 is a usually rare extension of the C wave. So I will go for equality and I will look for dollar to move upside, let's say, until end of November, maybe beginning of December, or end of December 2021. And then maybe in the start of 2022, we might be starting to see some of the weakness in dollar. I'm going to look for a one leg move lower in dollar, which will mean that we are going to trade below 89.90 in dollar index. Of course, this needs to be confirmed. We are seeing a 5-wave sequence and 3 waves pullback, which means that we might see in the next year or two a continuation of the dollar lower for the measured move, which means that we might challenge some around 81.80 on the downside, which will mean another 10% or 12% move down in dollar from these levels of 96. So let's seek a confirmation there. Confirmation will be definitely if we climb up and break this 91, and especially if we break 89 in an impulsive pattern, which means that we might see a 5 waves down pullback and then a continuation to the downside. So I think this move down in dollar might have a further implication on some currencies, also gold, Bitcoin, and some other assets classes, commodities as well, which will also portray a little bit more inflationary picture, because if the dollar moves down, all of these commodities, although there is some discrepancies during this COVID crisis in that correlation, which was pretty much stable for the last 20-30 years, but in general, I will still look as this develops on the upside, and if I see a confirmation for the move down in dollar, which is kind of nicely portrayed on the silver and on the gold chart, which might go higher, actually opposite of the moves in dollar, which is a standard correlation that we have for the last 20-30 years. So my conclusion is that we should watch definitely rates. In my opinion, dollar has a little bit more upside, and then we will see further developments in 2022, 23 possibly, for the larger move down in dollar, and that European rates will go a little bit more higher, supporting this move down in dollar and move up in euro. I think that that will also affect these yields to go a little bit more higher and price lower, but I will definitely look at this 158.60 support on the 10-year Bund price chart for the bounce back and a continuation of this deflationary level. I will show you how that will go into some of the currency front, because if you look euro dollar on this wave count that I'm looking at currently, I'm seeking for some type of a B wave down around 114, 113, from where we might see a 5-wave move up. In the euro dollar, I'm looking this still to be a corrective setback on the upside. 5 waves up with a small truncation like we saw in dollar index in wave A, pullback down in a wave B, and a move up in a wave C. Of course, this is just a hypothesis for now, but I'm going to look confirmation, which I will seek in a first 5-wave move up, some around from 114, 113, just to show you how this mirrors back potential move in DXY. DXY has 5 currency in it, and the biggest representative is euro dollar with the, or euro with the 57%. So that's why their charts often look alike, because there is the biggest weighting in DXY is actually euro. So that's why they look relatively similar if you look this, but they move just in opposite directions. So let me go and revisit gold. Gold is still in consolidation. We don't have still clues that this will finish soon. This is my still preferred wave count for now. If we hold this lower level around 1670, I'm looking this as a triangle. Not necessarily this has to be a triangle. It has a couple of more options. It can be a WX in big flat and Y. So I'm gonna still stay with this most approximate pattern that I think is developing, which will actually portray a gold a little bit more higher, and then a pullback towards the new year in this E wave, and then definitely 5 waves up and a pullback will mean that gold will continue higher. This goes well with the euro dollar wave count. In many times in the last 20 years, euro and gold has been trading in some type of a correlation. So I see that also as one of the signs that we might see pretty much in the next couple of months US dollar going lower. You can see that also in some currency fronts in the Aussie dollar market, because Aussie from the lows has definitely staged a 5-wave move up. I think we are in some type of a still corrective pullback, but Aussie also represents a possibility we might continue higher for this C wave on the upside in 5 waves, which actually will bring and align with this outlook that dollar will go lower. We can also see that on pound and on some other currencies, so I will not go into that because this is a crypto stream, but I just wanted to show you how this lookalike mirroring correlation you can use by kind of comparing these correlated markets and with the wave counts, so you can basically have a picture what will likely to happen, not 100%, but you can see some bigger kind of things that might be brewing on the sky in the next year or even more. So let me just revisit silver for you. And silver is still in the consolidation. We are looking as a closing move to the downside. This support level still holds. Resistance levels was also holding nicely for a year. So can you imagine this correction is already a year and even more in silver? But I think we are in some type of a flat. I think we're going to revisit this 2131, and that we might after go higher. This also can turn to be a big triangle. It's one of other options. We will see that definitely break of 28 will kind of indicates we will revisit 38, 40, 42. Even if it is a triangle, it's a bullish wave count. So we will go in A, B, down in C, D, and E. Same thing, we're going to just pull back down to 24 from somewhere around 28, and then we're going to continue higher. So I'm still going to hold the view that silver is bullish. We are still in a consolidation, accumulating energy for actually a move on the upside, and I think it will happen mostly beginning of 2022. Depends how this correction is unfolding further, and I will hold for now this wave count because it was actually performing nicely during the last 6-7 months, and I don't have a reason for now to change it. So I'm going to stay bullish on silver, on gold, and some of the risk-on currencies against the dollar in the beginning of 2022. So yeah, so that's a little bit of a macro outlook for you guys. Let's go and switch to cryptos. Let me see if there is any all good. Everything you hear, thank you on the feedback. I'm just looking into a YouTube channel where we kind of see what is going on. I have to use it because my other screen, usually you don't see that. I'm just going to look here what you're writing and what is the comment. So that's fine. Let's continue and let's look at the cryptos and let's look what is going on. So I'm going to start as usual, kind of painting a bigger picture. And as you know, we have been tracking this pullback for some time. We came back to 40K, which is a pretty significant level, I will say, and everything of this has been gravitating around this 40 and 30K in the past. I think it's going to be, and it's going to maintain a pretty significant kind of importance for the next couple of months for the Bitcoin price. As you can see, we are trading a pretty heightened RSI, so I think corrective pullback is pretty much kind of ready to happen. I'm just waiting some signs to see that. We are trading at the all-time high in a Bitcoin, so a couple of things there. I'm going to stay bullish, as we turned bullish a couple of weeks ago when we saw this 40K holding, and that other options or other patterns in a more bearish manner, like a triangle or even something worse on the downside, has been negated by this move on the upside. I will just say, and I will confirm what I have been talking last week. I will pretty much look these levels, and definitely I would not like to see Bitcoin reaching immediately these levels from 74 to 80 levels, because then there is a possibility this is a higher degree wave 3. So in any cases, I would like to have a healthy pullback down to, let's say, 50K or 47K. 200 moving average now on daily is at 45. And this zone will stay definitely a very sizable support level for the Bitcoin. So I will really like to see a nice pullback here in a Bitcoin, because that will signify for me a further continuation towards these danger levels and above them towards 100K, okay, and then even further on the upside. So I will still monitor this, and I also do for our members. So I don't want to sound bearish. I'm just gonna pinpoint that usually these levels here from 75K and 80K contains some of the Fibonacci ratios, which are which might provide some type of a reversal. And usually when you have the run on the upside in this higher degree, third wave, that should be something swift. So if we have a pullback, I don't think Bitcoin will actually react towards these levels. I think it's going to pass it, and the next levels will be close to 100K. If we have the case that we go directly to these levels on the upside, in this case, so we actually prolong this all-time high trading and we reach every day all-time high or every couple of days, as this progresses to the upside, I will be just much more kind of a careful when we reach these levels, which are portrayed in the previous chart. So it means between 75 and 81K or 80K. So this will be my zone of a next kind of a hurdle for the Bitcoin, and I will definitely significantly watch what is going on there. If we surpass it, since the years of this methodology combined, Todd is like 15-20 years, I'm also 12-13 years in it. Bennett and Terry also have has a couple of years of an experience, so combined taking all of our experience in watching the price charts and doing this type of methodology, we came to the conclusion in many instances that this levels place on the further move on the upside next hurdle from where you can see a potential reversal. So that's why I'm just gonna be very careful and I'm gonna stay bullish. Okay, just to be clear from that point. My preferred wave count, which doesn't mean it has to unfold, of course, but looking the sequence and the RSI, I think Bitcoin is due to some smaller pullback, which will be in range between, if it happens, from 45 to 55. So that will be my zone, and definitely 40K, 45K, it's a rock solid zone for the Bitcoin, which I think we are not going to reach. I think this pullback will be smaller in its development. There's of course left to be seen. Let me just see some ratios here. So we can go 50, 48K, somewhere around there. I think it will be sufficient for the Bitcoin to continue its third wave on the upside, which will actually reach 100, 110K in the next move on the upside front. So I hope I have been clear about this. So one of the options is a pullback. If we go higher, I want to see these two levels taken out decisively on the upside. I don't want to see any hesitation, any five-way move on the downside, any significant reversal from this level, because this can change the picture significantly for the Bitcoin and the other cryptos in the next couple of months. Let me just show you a Bitcoin dominance chart. As you know, we have been looking for a couple of months before development of this five-way move. We expected a little bit more push on the downside, which didn't happen, but I mean, that's fine. We identified this in May, I think, or a little bit later as a wave 4. We had a one alt season on the upside here. We posted marginally low here, challenging this previous low, and we count that as a fifth wave. So we are moving up in the Bitcoin dominance. So I think what is going on here, we're going to have some at least pullback in the ABC. On the upside, I'm looking for 54 to 55 levels, which means that Bitcoin will stay a little bit more dominant in the next couple of months. This is still not finished a five-wave sequence. I want to still see a small pullback in a wave 4 and further the dominance of a Bitcoin in a wave 5. Then we can expect alts to start moving up much more than a Bitcoin, while the Bitcoin makes this B wave, and then a Bitcoin will take a lead again, probably with the new highs in this C wave, which where alts will go probably with the Bitcoin on the upside, but of the smaller pace. Obviously, if we see an ABC on the dominance chart, it means that Bitcoin will grow with a little bit more fire than the alts in the next couple of weeks, which was basically the case from these lows. And on the altcoins, we are seeing developments that we expected for the last couple of months, but they are still not so kind of exuberant as we are expecting to happen. Okay, looking the wave count, so I will show you these wave counts that we have seen. Just a small thing on the stocks. So Nasdaq actually made only 3-wave move lower. There is no 5 waves, so this is probably either a directional or a triangle. So stocks will continue higher because it's very, very clear there is nothing impulsive in this sequence on the downside. So we still consider this as a consolidation, as a correction. So stocks will also align a little bit with risk-on environment, and after a triangle or more directional, if we break this previous all-time high, I think we're going to continue challenging some new levels on the upside on the Nasdaq and on the S&P, which is a kind of a useful information if you look cryptos. From the news, we have seen that FTX raises 420, which is a sizable number of investments from BlackRock. So they are a kind of exceeding 900 million mega investment in the crypto development. That's a kind of a good news, because some of the big funds are going towards institutional adoption platform, which will going to be, I think, FTX, because they're developing a nice compliance around, which is definitely necessary for the big hedge funds or funds to be actually exposed to the crypto space. We have also seen a new crypto ETF, which is a significant event. So I think it's BITO. It's the ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF, which means that now everybody who are involved in stocks and who trades actually on the different platforms, then the crypto one can have an exposure to the Bitcoin without having wallets or without having accounts with the crypto exchanges. So they can buy and mirror the price of the Bitcoin futures through this ETF, which means a much more audience and much more actually traders will have a possibility to be exposed on the Bitcoin price towards or through their standard means of trading or standard instruments, without having to jump into a crypto space or to have trouble opening wallets and crypto exchanges accounts. So that's a very, very nice development. BITO is alive and it's trading. So that is also one step forward to increasing of the Bitcoin market cap, adding liquidity to the market, and it's a very nice step because much more audience will have actually will be able to approach and have an exposure on the Bitcoin. So let me see what you're saying, guys. Could you please give us a short-term chart for the Bitcoin saying hourly? Yes, Sarah, I will do that. What about possible flat on the Bitcoin? Wave rider? I don't think so. And I will explain why. Flat is 335 patterns. Okay, so there is nothing here actually saying that this is a 335. If you want to have something more complex, I will explain you how this can happen. So that will be a very, very complex correction. So if you are looking for flat here, you will have to portray something pretty sizably complex, and I will explain you what this pattern can be. So this will be something like this. You will have some type of a flat here, which will be a three-wave move in the wave A, because flats are 335. So you will basically have the wave A here. I will just raise a degree so you can see it. So this will be a wave A. This will be ABC up in the wave, actually targeting these levels in the wave B, and then you will have a 5 waves down in a wave C. That's the only possibility how that this can be actually noted to be a possible flat correction. Usually you also can have a running flat, so I don't think 29K is in the question for now. I want to see a clear 5 waves move from these levels. I don't like to be, as you are looking my crypto lab, guys, you see I'm trying to be condensed and focusing on the very kind of a narrow time frames and the narrow price action. I don't like to go so much into the future because that's a very tricky thing. Predicting a flat going down to 29. I mean, first, we don't see a signs for it. Secondly, we see all signs that we have to remain bullish. So why should we play with such type of predictions or kind of a wave counts when we don't have any evidence and the trend is clearly still bullish and became bullish when we held this 40K and went above 786 retracement from this move, which we usually look. So I think that's a pretty futile kind of a exercise. I mean, you can have it as a reserve wave count, but I will actually go and talk about it and actually portraying that when I see any signs of happening in that respect. For now, I have to respect the trend. I have to respect the price action. For now, the price action is bullish, so I'm not going to go bearish and looking for some other options until I see a clear signs that is happening. I do expect a pullback, so that's fine. But I will stay bullish, keeping tracking this trend on the upside. So that will be my answer regarding this possible flat. So let me just see what is your hello Alex, could you check us SLP coin? Yes, I will check SLP coin for you. SLP. Can you look in the BTC pair, some of the alts? Yeah, we're gonna look some alts. Short term, Sarah? Yeah, okay, let's look Bitcoin chart short term. And let's see what are the options here. So I'm looking this move as a 5-way move. As I said, I would like, there is some levels or some of the fib ratios which I kind of don't like here from the Elliott wave perspective, especially when I see how long we went on the upside. So this can be considered to be a 5-way move, and that's fine. But I would like to see pretty much, as I said the last time, but we went on the upside, we'll surpass this 0.618, which is one of the targets. We are trading a little bit higher, which is normal. Wherever you are challenging this all-time high, market wants to see it. Okay, so this is the all-time high on the Bitcoin. So you can basically say that usually it kind of acts as a magnet. So when you have it, you usually want to see that this resistance is overtaken for a kind of a marginal new high, and then market can kind of have a breather and make a pullback. So any 5 waves here down to this 55 level, I will consider a wave A, move up in a wave B, and a move down in a wave C, down to this 48, 50, 52 levels. Okay, and that will be a significant sign for me that most likely we are going to continue higher, piercing through these relatively worrisome levels between 75 and 80K. Okay, so I would like to see these corrections unfolds on the Bitcoin and Ether, because this will make me more bullish than if we continue on the upside. Okay, so as you can see, corrections are necessary, so you can actually continue to have at least some balance between buyers and sellers. And that balance actually, at least for some time, allows market to continue in the higher trend direction, which is up for the Bitcoin. So that will be my smaller time frame. Let's see this. Can you check SLP? Yes, let's look SLP and what we have on the SLP there. I never looked, I think, this coin. It's a small, smooth love potion USD. I don't know, we looked something with love. I don't think it's this one. Yeah, pretty messy chart. Let me just see if I can derive anything from it. But this is 1, 2. But I don't see really. Yeah. So the only way how I can interpret this to be something on a bullish side will be some type of a relatively weird. If this is a 1, 2. Up in 3, 4, and 5, and we are now in a flat. So this will be some kind of a very strange leading diagonal on the upside. Wave 3 is bigger than a wave 1 here, and then wave 5 is bigger than a wave 3, which kind of But it is kind of a strange one, I must say, and this will be a flat, which means that this one can or should find some support if I'm right with this wave count, but take this with a grain of salt, because this is just a really far away hypothesis. I don't have a clue what is going on there, because this is very strange price action, I must say. Usually I skip these charts and I go to other one which are much more clearer for my eye. Okay, so I will consider this to be a flat, and this will be basically down in A, up in B, and a little bit more downside towards this 0.0381 in C. And if you see some price action on the upside from here, that will be a good sign, and you can expect a further bullishness on this one. That will also pair with this RSI on weekly, and I guess on daily. We already reacted here, maybe just a touch lower, and then this flat might be finished and continue higher. So that will be my best take on this one. Otherwise, chart is a pure mess in my book. Okay, guys, so let me see what else we have from the requests. Let me just go and look what is going on further. Are we still on the stream? I hope we are. Otherwise, chart is a pure mess in my book. Okay, guys, just tell me, do we see each other more? Maybe I interrupted the stream accidentally, because I'm operating on one screen. Okay. Okay, guys, so let's see what is going on MATIC. Let me just go and fix this just to have some visibility of what is going on there. To enter the room, because it is a nice meet to have a kind of a look what is going on there. Bitcoin Ether, okay, that's dot Solana, okay. Could you look SLP 1 inch? Yeah, okay. So let's go and do a small analysis on this space regarding altcoins. So as you can see, 1 inch was relatively behaving nicely per our wave count. So we have been holding this view for really a long time, that this is a 5-wave move in a wave A or 1. A pullback was completed here, and after a pullback we have seen a nice 5 waves up with a pullback here, and now 1 inch is developing from this equality level. So if you watch here, these two legs are completely equal, and that's what we want to look for a measured move. And from there, we are seeing some type of a nice 1, 2, up in 3, 4, and 5. It can be an expanding leading diagonal, but I'm still thinking that we are behaving nicely. On 1 inch, we have surpassed this very significant resistance levels. If you can see here, this was as it was here, and I was portraying this zone much before we had this move on the downside, because it's clearly this old is a very nice support zone. We also have some type what some of the old traders are calling inverse head and shoulder. This is a left shoulder, right shoulder, head. I don't look that much because that is already encompassed in the Elliott wave, but kind of a nice inverse one if you want also to observe that from that side. We held equality, and now we don't have a reason to turn bearish here, because we did everything what is expected of the bullish wave count, and I will expect some type of a pullback. Usually when you have this expansion, you will see some type of a pullback back to 325, 3.5, somewhere into this zone, especially if this is some type of an expanding leading diagonal, which is relatively bullish development patterns. Okay, so this will be a wave 1 and 2, up in 3, 4, and 5. We do a little bit of a pullback, and then we continue to all new time high in 1 inch. I will definitely like to see that, because we need to go and trade above this parallel channel, which actually portrays a possibility we are in just a measured move retracement. Okay, so that's why I'm always saying that there is always a crucial levels you need to see surpass on the upside. In this case, it will be a 544 on 1 inch, from where I will be much more confident we are going to continue further higher, because we are going to trade above the quality levels or a measured move, which you have seen here now on the bigger scale. Okay, and we will be definitely trading above 78.6 retracement of this move to the downside, which will actually tell us that that 1 inch will continue higher. So far so good. We are holding and held the very key levels of equality, which was our target for this correction, and we are developing nicely. So for now, everything is good with 1 inch. We're going to track that. I expect a little bit of a pullback, but not much. And from there, I expect, if we continue behaving nicely, even a further continuation to a new high above 8 on 1 inch. So let's see MATIC. I see there is lots of interest for MATIC, and MATIC is developing also according to our wave count for now. So we have been looking this pretty sizably bullish on the MATIC. As you can see, this is our higher time frame outlook. We are still looking for some targets around 6 to 9 on MATIC, and for now we are seeing possibly on a smaller time frame developing of this potential move on the upside. It's still not out of the woods. I will say it still doesn't trade in the new all-time high, but definitely some of the price action I'm seeing here with a nice pullback, also very close to equality or measured move. We have something which looks like a 5-wave move and then a continuation. So MATIC is something which I think is also developing nicely, and I would like to see MATIC maybe after a small pullback trades above these two previous high, above these 269 for the wave 3 targets, which will be around 3.4 on the upside. And if we are right on this one and we don't see anything on the downside challenging again this trend line, which will happen if this Bitcoin levels around 81 or 75 give up, I will stay bullish, especially if we surpass 180, 190 on MATIC. So I'm still gonna hold this wave count. There is no wave count invalidation levels. We are developing nicely, so I'm gonna keep holding the bullish view on the MATIC, and I will look for a further expansion on the upside on MATIC as well. Let's see what's going on Ethereum, Bitcoin. My wave count has failed, and that's also something to address. It didn't fail much. Actually, it is exhibiting a pullback from the levels, which is still in line. But my first target was actually penetrated, or it failed to hold. So I will show you the whole picture. I was relatively bullish on the Ether against the Bitcoin. We are seeing now, and that might be our BY pullback on these altcoins that we showed on a dominance chart. We are holding this potential wave 4 lows. This can be a triangle. I was looking here to be finished. That was my original wave count. Leading diagonal on the upside, pullback, but I think for leading diagonals this is too much of a pullback. Leading diagonals are pretty sizably bullish patterns, so I would like to have more this as a potential further consolidation in triangle and then move up. So as long as we trade above 0.046, for me Ether will be bullish against the Bitcoin in this dominance or in this pair chart. I still am going to look in a 1-2. I'm looking for targets for the possible wave 3 completion, then a little bit more of a sideways action, and then Ethereum again will have dominance over Bitcoin until this 5-way move is completed. So I'm pretty much watching what is going on. For now, this indicates that this is a very sideways corrective price action. I don't think we're going to see anything bullish if we are keeping this sideways kind of a trajectory, and I will look this as long as we stay in this range to resolve on a bullish side in some of these corrections explained in the BTC dominance chart, where Ether can actually use this chance and for a little bit more until some of the 0.09 or 0.1 climb up and actually completes this wave 3 on the upside. Okay guys, so let me see some of the questions more. We did look MATIC, Ethereum dollar, okay. Did you went through, got a bit scared there, okay, nothing that much scared there. Just a second, what about alpaca dollar? What is this? I never looked alpaca. Is that alpaca finance dollar? Uniswap, okay, we're gonna look Uniswap, alpaca dollar. I guess it's that one. Alpaca dollar, for now, it's a relatively new chart. There is still nothing there. We have seen some type of a three-wave move down, and post that, this might look like a leading diagonal, but this is still kind of in its beginning phase. So if you want to consider this to be bullish, I would say that you should look for some levels either from here already or a little bit lower. But what you need to see if you want to stay on a bullish side, you need to see on a smaller time frame some type of a five-wave move developing here, indicating and challenging these highs for a potential further advance on the upside. So I don't know this coin, I didn't look at it, I don't know what is the nature and purpose of the coin. But relatively after a three-wave move down, this might be some type of a beginning of something which is correction, which is already finished here, or can challenge a little bit lower levels at 0.64 before it traces another measured move or even bigger move on the upside. So I will say, although we don't have much of a data here, just look this region. If we pass it, I will wait then. Okay, but for now it might look decent if we stay and if we start to see some developments from these lows passing this 1.26. That will be a rather bullish outcome for alpaca, challenging these levels around 4 in the next move. Okay guys, so let me look. Ether is basically same as a Bitcoin. I mean, I do expect some pullback to happen on Ether. Let me just go and see the Ethereum chart. We are trading at very close or at new all-time high. Again, the same thing. One of the levels which is watched on a Bitcoin should be watched on Ether. So this levels is at 127, I will show you, and that is around 5,688. So definitely this will be my levels of the watch zone for the Ether. We already have something which resembles a five-wave move, so I would like rather to see correction and then a trend continuation. Then I would like to see this expand further, because this gives a possibility, if we stay and turn around, to label this as a lesser degree wave 3. Okay, so this will be a lesser degree wave 3. We will go in a wave 4 and then in a wave 5 towards 20K. Okay, so I'm going to be watching. If we do a nice pullback here back to, let's say, 3,000, 3,500, I will be more optimistic. We will see 7 to 10K on the Ether in the next bull run, because this will develop further on the upside. This will be a wave 1, down in 2, smaller degree 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. So we will be challenging between 8 and 10,000 on Ether, but definitely some type of a pullback will be welcomed before these levels, as I mentioned before. Okay, so Uniswap. Okay, let's see Uniswap. What is going on Uniswap? chart, I think I'm also bullish on this AXC. If you look, the chart is in the fourth wave, so I'm still going to keep the bullish wave count. It's a pretty nice Elliott wave count here. So as you can see, from this sequence here, we look this for a pullback, and then you have a 1-2, very nice move up in a wave 3. So this is some type of a consolidation. So I think AXC, if you are interested in some of the gaming cryptos, this I think has more room on the upside to go. Let me see the Uniswap. Yeah, Uniswap is also developing as per our wave count. We have been actually pretty nicely bullish on the Uniswap. So I will say that for now, I think potentially I will not count this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will count this as a wave 5 on the upside. This is a little bit too much, you must admit. So I will not be that sizably bullish. I will stay bullish, of course, but with a little bit more lesser targets here for the possibility of this wave 3 more to equality, and then maybe wave 5 will expand much more further on the upside. So I'd like to be a little bit more conservative than to go out with some crazy prices. So it's looking good for now. As you can see, post third wave correction downside, we have a nice impulsive move correction. So for me in this book, this one still looks pretty nicely for the further development on the upside towards 87,100. That will be my target as long as we hold these very nice support levels, which comes around 20. Okay, so I would not like to see 20, and especially these levels here on the lows of this lesser degree wave 2 at 1773 broken. Okay, that will technically damage pretty much the chart, and it will imply we have a more downside, okay, or a sideways consolidation. So I will expect a little bit of a pullback down to, let's say, 21, 22, and then a continuation further on the upside. So I'm going to stay bullish looking this development here on the Uniswap. ADA. Okay, guys, I cannot catch everything, guys. If you want to have our wave count, you can take a trial. Trading Analysis website. Trial is 27 bucks, so you can see what we are doing. We also have a nice and very knowledgeable Discord group where we chat and when we look the charts and look every news and everything else, do some swing trading and all of that. So ADA is still for me in a sideways, as you can see, consolidation. I didn't see anything on ADA which will actually imply that we are still starting the move on the upside. So let me just find ADA chart for you. And this is, I think, here. ADA is, yeah, it's still, I mean, as you can see, I don't see anything so bullish here on this chart. We have been pretty, we nailed, I would say, this high here in ADA. Well, the smart contract actually went out. I posted that on Twitter. Everybody was against this chart. I don't know how many people actually wrote me on my Twitter feed that I'm wrong, that I'm who knows what. But actually, look what happened. So I'm still not going to be bullish ADA. I don't see this still as a very impulsive price action, and you can see that for yourself. For now, we are still trading in a sideways, so I will actually be interested to have ADA for myself around this 1.8, 1.9 levels. Okay, so this will be my zone. I think this is still some type of a correction, and that if the Bitcoin starts to move out a little bit of that downside, we will see alts. And this will be a perfect level for me on ADA to actually try to have some exposure with a small stop. So I'm going to wait. I'm not going to, until I see something above this corrective channel for me, ADA is still not the bullish case scenario when I have this more gravity level down around 1.86 awaiting and actually pulling possibly price to the downside. Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys. So thank you. I hope we have reached some of the cryptos you like to see. I hope you have seen some of the charts which might help you navigating this space. If you want to visit us, go to Trading Analysis website. We have a fully developed crypto service, and also if you are interested in stocks, there is Bennett and Terry doing a great job there with stocks in the Premier service. Trials are relatively cheap, so you can try us out for 15 days. And if you don't like us, that's fine. You can try something else then. But I think we are doing a pretty good job with cryptos, containing our narrative and our bias pretty solidly and pretty conservatively without any hypes and taking into account a risk perspective pretty much. So thank you guys again on the attention. Hit the like button for us, and keep us tracking on this journey to the crypto space. We stay bullish. Okay, so we are just to be clear. We just need a couple of hurdles more to clear, and there you go, 100K maybe in the hand, but maybe. So so let's stay. I'm gonna leave you with that, and see you next time, guys. Next Thursday, same place, Crypto Lab with Alex, featured by Trading Analysis. Have a nice one. Bye bye.